All right, here's video numero dos. That's one thing that ayahuasca actually helped me to take. I'm gonna just jump right in. Because everything is about reflection, right? The reason why people do ayahuasca is to cleanse their spirit, to let go of old baggage or old traumas or depression or whatever it is that they're going on, and to be able to see the new, right? To go into the new. And I had so much appreciation for my nose, my culture, my people. I'm listening to the shaman and the words are in Spanish, and I'm like, what a blessing that I can understand these words and that I can feel these words, and that this came from the lineages and ancestors before me. Not only that, but wanting to speak Spanish and embrace my culture in new ways, to new heights. So that was one realization that I really feel has been calling me prior. I want to speak Spanish, I want to learn Spanish, I want to do videos in Spanish, I want to talk to my people in Spanish. But it really just gave me newfound appreciation for that. So with the ayahuasca, I mentioned in the other video the kombu that went with it and why we did it, to open us up and cleanse us before the mother. And there was a lot of preparation. I really want to emphasize the preparation that went into going into the ceremony. This is not something that I was dilly-dallying with, kind of, let's see how it goes. This is something that I really meant in my heart with intention, that I wanted to meet the mother and I wanted to be able to see whatever it is that I was ready to see. I know I was being called forward, and I wasn't going to play this game of testing or seeing what I could get away with. So with your food, your nutrition was key. And I started preparing around 6 weeks to 4 weeks prior, and week after week I would kind of deduct or move some things around, like taking away sugar, salt, meat, pork, sex, and not allowing myself to just energetically be depleted. Meditation is also something that is very key. Having your spiritual practice, having this preparation of, getting connected, feeling aligned, feeling focused, allowing yourself to prepare emotionally by not taking on stories or baggage or drama of whatever it is that you're hurting through. And really, I did a lot of journaling, probably more than ever, because just constantly sitting there with myself of where is this coming from, trying to almost cleanse before the cleanse, because I really wanted to be open and ready to receive whatever messages I was ready to receive. And I literally felt like that's how it went. It was I had these intentions that I had written prior to going of, what did I want? One of the things that I wanted was to fully embrace my power and belief in myself in a new way, believe in myself in a new level. Another thing that I had intended for was to forgive fully the past and let go. And also the shame that I had in that, the guilt of responsibility, like it was my fault. And another thing was to rewire my brain, right? I wanted this medicine to go in and rewire the paths of thinking highly of myself and loving myself and believing in myself and going for it. So all these things were intentions, but when we got there, the shaman was like, forget your intentions, just surrender. Surrender. Like, forget what you think you know and just surrender to the medicine and let her take you. So the first night, I had no idea what to expect, okay? You don't eat about 4 to 6 hours prior to your first ceremony or every ceremony. There was 3 ceremonies, one on Sunday, one on Monday, and one on Tuesday. The first ceremony was right after the kombu ceremony, not right after, about 5 hours, 6 hours later. And we would start the ceremony. You're wearing all white for purity, for cleanliness, and also so people can see you, all the assistants could see you, because it is dark during the ceremony. You have your bed space with your bucket to purge in, your blankets, water, things like that. And the shaman will start with, with the assistants will actually bless you with the Palo Santo or cleanse you with the Palo Santo. And afterwards, the shaman will open it up with saying thank you to, it was so beautiful. It wasn't only mother ayahuasca or father fire, but it was also grandfather wind and grandmother water, or it might be the opposite, but it was just so beautiful, like just appreciating and calling in the angels, the guides, the mother to come and assist us, just having that gratitude and opening it up. And then we open with a round of rapé. So rapé is an Amazonian tobacco snuff that you place into your nostrils. This tobacco snuff, it kind of burns a little bit when it's in there, and you have to focus on your breathing, because if you're not focusing on your breathing through your mouth and you're inhaling through your nose, it will go into your lungs and make you cough. Luckily, that didn't happen to me because of the focus. I was hyper focused on my breath. And you literally, it will go into here and you have to hold your breath. So you kind of inhale, they place it in, they blow it into your nose, you exhale, you inhale again, they place it in the other nostril, you exhale, you go back to your bed. And you're just focusing on your breath while it's in there doing its thing. Every single time it made me tear up, because I think of the effect of it being in my nose. And what it does is it really helps you to focus and be present. So you go back to your bed, the whole, everybody will take their rounds. There's some music going on while that, and I was sitting, my default would always to go back and sit in gratitude and in appreciation, because that is literally the way to surrender. It's literally the way to surrender. It's literally the way to just be present and focused, as opposed to panicking or worrying or getting frustrated or being annoyed or being confused or trying to think about all these things or making these things work or fit. And not that I didn't do that in these experiences, because there was, in particular, the third ceremony where I was almost battling with myself during the first phase of it to surrender. But I'll get into that. So you go to your first round of rapé, and then he will open up the ceremony with the ayahuasca. So ayahuasca, if you don't already know, it is a vine and another plant that are mixed together. They're created into a tea, and it was thick. It was a thick tea. The first one was thickest the first day. The second days were a little bit thinner in terms of the consistency, and it kind of tastes like, to me, expired tamarindo, like it was a sour tamarindo flavor. So for those of you that know what tamarindo is, and it has that consistency too, where it's like there's pieces in it. It's not like a smooth blended tea. There's like pieces of grain stuff in there, which I'm assuming are the plants. So you drink it and you go back to your bed, your place where you're sitting, and you just sit. And so the first night I literally didn't feel anything until I think the second cup. I did feel very relaxed the first cup, just very relaxed, but I didn't feel the urge to purge. Purging is throwing up, or anything really in my body. And again, I don't know what to expect, so I'm just kind of sitting there observing. Very interesting. Both the kambu and the ayahuasca for the first ceremonies, I was being the observer of not only myself, but like everybody else, including the shaman, the practitioners, and everybody else that was also in the ceremonies, attending the ceremonies, doing the ceremonies. And from a place of, am I doing this right or am I doing this wrong type of thing. And it was very interesting to be aware of those thoughts, right? Like totally judging myself. So everybody will sit in silence for about 30 minutes so that it can do its job. And then music will start to play. The shaman was incredible. He played, I think, at least 5 instruments the whole time, sang the whole time, besides those moments of silence when we are allowing the medicine to work, including for himself, because himself and the assistants also take the medicine. But the power driving behind him is so divine and so powerful. It felt like magic. The second cup for the first day of the ceremony, that's when I started to feel. And I literally could, if you could just imagine, again, I felt very calm and relaxed in my body. But when I would surrender, and here's the difference between surrendering and trying to make it something. So our minds are very powerful. And I think that this is also very, very key in the preparation. Us challenging ourselves to focus in new ways, to have healthier mindsets, positive mindsets, to take us back to a base of feeling safe and trusting ourselves, and not getting lost in those stories and the dramas and it can really mess with you. I can see how people can have very terrifying and horrific experiences if they don't control their mind to some extent while you're on the medicine. But then by going into that space of something that I kept repeating in particular is, I am here. Thank you, Mother. Show me what you want to show me. I am a warrior. And that mantra almost helped me to kind of let go of my own thought and allow her to take me wherever she wanted to take me. And during that surrender, yeah, you could be taken to places in your childhood, memories. You could be taken to things that you shouldn't be doing in your life that you're doing. You can go inside your body. You could have visuals of, you name it. But for me, the first night, I feel like, and I had asked her to be gentle with me. And I believe that she also knows and knew my barrier with trusting. The experiences that I had when I was younger really made me push away trusting people to a level of vulnerability, to really be open, to really be vulnerable, to really just let myself go, including God, because what I thought was God was not God, right? It was evil, it was darkness. And so for me, when I would think God from my 13 to 22 even, it was like, why would God do this to me, or why, but I always felt like something was missing. And so I got back down into this path, and I really do feel like I do know God now, and I do know what that love is. And so I think with Mother, with the plant Mother Ayahuasca, she showed me that she wanted to get to know me, and she wanted me to get to know her, especially in the first night. So she was very gentle with me. I didn't have any things that I saw that were terrifying. Sometimes there was like some clowns, and sometimes there was like some other just things consistently moving, like ebbing and flowing, like a kaleidoscope almost. But it was just a lot of beautiful geometrical figures, and it just kept on going. And the feeling that I felt was like bliss. It was just like so much peace, so much love, so much acceptance, so much just being in this moment. So that's kind of how that journey went. Right when we ended, I was out of it already. I kind of got out of it probably in the last 20 minutes, even before the ceremony was finished. And that was that. The second night, that's when I really released a lot. So, it was very interesting for me. I felt like it was literally me thinking everything that I thought that I knew, letting it go. So the first place that she took me, I felt it within the first cup. The second night, I felt it like, I felt it. And the feeling is almost like you just feel your body start to relax and open up, and you feel things kind of moving through you. It's not that you don't feel like you don't have control of your body. You definitely have control, and my foot's asleep, sorry. You know what's happening around you. You can hear what's happening around you. You can hear what's happening in other people's experiences. But everybody's journey is different. So the second night was just releasing everything. When I was purging in the bucket, I never purged by myself once, meaning throwing up just on my own. I had to meet the mother and meet the frog for the kombu, the other medicine, to get these things out. And I'm not sure why. And I don't really think it matters. But the second night, I did definitely feel called and led to assist the mother. And it's almost like a buildup. So you'll have a buildup of, so she took me into this room of where things used to happen to me when I was from 8 to 12 years old. There were sexual experiences. And so there was a part of me that wanted to like fight it and like, I don't want to go there. But I knew I had to go there. It's like, go into the darkness, go into where she wants to show you. Don't fight it, because that's when you're going to be able to release these things that are inside you. And so I kept on remembering that. So like I said, you are conscious of what you're deciding to do and where you're deciding to go, or what you're allowing to happen rather. And so from that, I felt the buildup of shame. That was literally the feeling that I had, like, you know, showing me like, this is not your fault. You know, this is not your fault. Why are you carrying the shame with you like it's your fault? And so just throwing that up. And when I was throwing up, I felt chunks coming out of my mouth. And I'm not even kidding you when I say like chunks of like food. But there was no food. Later on, when I had dumped the bucket out into the toilet, because that's where you dump it out, you think it and then you dump it out, there was no chunks. And so for me, it was also evident of how dense this energy was inside of me, and how much it was just clumped up deep inside of me. So after you purge, and specifically after that time, I felt so light. I almost felt like white, just pure, just clean. And then she takes you to another, you know, she took me to another place, showing me my arrogance. And, you know, like, you don't know everything. So don't think that you know everything. Continue to be open and humble. And so that was another part, just throwing that up. I really felt like it was my ego that was dying. Like, and I was like fighting it. I'd be over the bucket, you know, in like almost like a frog position or on all fours. And my arms were like shaking. And it's like, let go, like, just let go. So there was that. I also remember throwing up self-imposed limitations, you know, just those limitations that I've been placing on myself. Fear, throwing up fear. And then, yeah, those were like the main ones. And there's so much happening in between all of these. It's very, very interesting. Medicine was very, very interesting. Yeah, very, very interesting. When I looked in the mirror, I saw my great-great-grandmother and great-great-great-great-grandmother. It was 3 women behind me. So 2 to 3 women. It was just like the heads of them behind me in the mirror as I was looking. And intuitively, I knew, you know, your great-great-grandma, your lineage, your ancestors. And I almost felt like I'm doing this work and healing them. You know, that they were there with me. My face turned into an owl and then back. It was very, very, very interesting, very cool. Those were the highlights of the second night. The second night, I just felt like I let everything go. The third night, I went in with the intention of, you know, and this is something that I did feel like I was comparing myself to others, because during share circle, you know, it's like, oh, it was terrible, it was horrible, it was horrific, it was terrifying, it was very, very hard, it was a long night. And I didn't feel that way. Like, yeah, of course, there was times when I was like, okay, like, it's almost done, just keep going, this is why we're here, just keep going. But I didn't feel, you know, like terrified or scared. And I don't know what they would share, some things that they saw, but I was almost like expecting myself to see those things. And if I wasn't, I was judging myself like I was doing it wrong. And on the third night, she showed me, like, you're not doing it wrong. But on the third night was probably my most challenging in the beginning, because I had the intention of going in to heal. I wanted to heal. I wanted to have an open heart. Those were the 2 intentions. And then I drank the first drink and I didn't feel anything. It was like my mind was so taking over, like, oh, like, go here, or maybe you're gonna go here, or like just creating all these things and scenarios of what I should do or where I should go, and not allowing the mother to do her work. And I was getting very frustrated with myself, but I was still so hungry and eager for that surrender. Like, I wanted it more than anything. So I was like, back into focus, back into focus, back into focus. Thank you, mother. I am here. I am a warrior. Show me what you want to show me. And it was getting like to the point of like, okay, already, like, come on. So after the second cup, I took the second cup, and that's when I started to feel her after the rapé. After every cup, you have rapé, the Amazonian snuff that helps you to breathe and focus and surrender. And I felt her, and it felt so good. I broke through. And what she showed me was like, why are you doing this? Why are you looking for pieces of you that are broken? You're not broken. You are healed. And I was just like, wow, like, okay, like, so stop it. So stop doing these things. Like, stop looking for these parts of you that are broken. You're not broken. And that was really beautiful. And that whole ceremony, the third ceremony, was literally her showing me how to clean up these different areas of my life, you know, at home, how I can be more loving and more present with my sisters and the boys. Committing to myself. That was a theme. Ooh, respect was also a theme. Respect. Not only for myself, but for her and the mother, and this process of growth and change, and for myself. And, you know, really developing further this relationship with my daughter. You know, like, that's the relationship you should be focused on. I saw how makeup in particular, you know, closes the throat chakra, and how this is not something that, you know, this is an insidious thing that they do so that we are not able to speak our truth and be enlightened and be woke. And yet I'm still wearing makeup. But I think for me, it's about being more mindful of what I'm using on my face moving forward. She also showed me I was craving pizza on the first day and second day. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go have pizza when I go home. And on the third ceremony, she was like, no, you're not. Why do you want to be so quick to put this stuff in your body again? You know, to really integrate and implement what's going to happen moving forward. Allowing her to continue to do the work in me, and for me to do the work to integrate all this experience. I took 3 cups that night, and at the end of the ceremony, I was not done. So there was this element of, oh shit, I'm still on the medicine. The medicine's still with me here. So after she showed me those things, really showing me my power, not to dim my light, showing me what would happen if I do and if I don't, and really encouraging me to see the work that I've been called to do in this life. After that ceremony was done, it was so beautiful. The music would move you. It's just incredible the whole time. I feel like the music was so vital. And if any of you are interested in doing this, please go to a real shaman, not someone that's going to play a playlist in the background. Like, go to the real deal. Go to Peru. Go if you have to, but do your research. And at the end, when I was still with the medicine, I had to get the courage to go throw my bucket, you know, and thank it in the toilet. You have to go outside and clean it. And mind you, we're in the middle of Arizona on a ranch. It's dark, pitch black. Stars are phenomenal. Looks like so many freckles in the sky. But I felt like for me, that was also another testament of a challenge from the mother to really believe in myself and to have courage. So have courage to walk over there in the dark and clean out your bucket by yourself. Have courage to walk back to your room, to your casita, in the dark. And when I got to the room, I got on my hands and knees and I prayed and I said, thank you. Now show me, continue to show me. I am here. Like, we're still gonna do this type of thing. And there was no turning back. Like, I couldn't take, you know, what are you gonna do? So she showed me to go purge more in the bathroom. And I did, and it was interesting because now I have a white bowl with light and I see everything. And I feel like it was just the final, like, letting everything go, including everything that I thought I knew. Being open to receive. And I look at my luggage and I see just this mess of clothes, and she showed me, you know, to take care of what I have. Take care of what you have. Take care of what you have. My hair, I started playing with it and looking at it and just admiring it. And she told me, you know, take care of what you have. You know, you want this long, beautiful hair. Take care of what you have. My teeth, I was brushing my teeth, and it was probably the longest I've ever brushed my teeth, at least 15 minutes. Just take care of what you have. My face, I did the most amazing spa experience. Take care of what you have. Take care of what you have. And yeah, that was my experience overall. I think it was an incredible experience. I do believe that the work starts now when you're back home. I could see how people can do those experiences and then come back and go right back to old patterns. Because now it's like, when you have the mother in you, the medicine in you, you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, oh yeah, wow, boom, 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 all these lights going off. But then when you're back home, it's like, oh yeah, but no, like, those things can start to creep back in. And that's where you got to really shut it down and, like, have faith and trust that what you saw was the powerful you, the part of you that you want to become, the part of you that you want to leave behind. things that are required for you to meet God. You have to meet God. You have to meet the universe. You have to meet so that you can shift. It's not this like, I'm going to carry you and do the work for you type of thing. It's not a magic medicine that is going to do the work for you. The work happens when you get home and when you start to implement these practices and integrate these things into your life. So I would highly, highly recommend you doing your own research and looking it up and finding other people in the space. Ask me any questions that you do have. But, you know, if you're interested in it, there's a reason, I would say. And for me, I much rather trust something that is natural and from the earth than like why not type of thing for me. But I've always been that way. So call me crazy, but I would definitely do it again. I think for myself, I would like to implement and integrate and earn that next ceremony by doing the work and integrating everything that I've seen, everything that I've come to the realization of, and then doing another ceremony in a year or so. If it comes before that, that's awesome. There is a dieta, a 10-day dieta that they do in the Amazon that I'm interested in doing in February. I kind of want to do that as a gift to myself, but we'll see, because who knows, right, with everything going on. So with all that said, though, I would definitely recommend it. I would recommend doing it again. I would do it again. I will do it again as a part of continually with the kombu, cleansing my body, and with the ayahuasca, up-leveling to new levels. Because there's always going to be emotional responses. There's always going to be dis-ease from things that happen. There's always going to be relationships that we get into, experiences that we get into, new roles that we take on. And I believe that these things can cause us stress, right? So not only that, but also there's new levels that we want to continue to get to. And at least for me, you know, I really do want to explore the maximum there is to explore, whatever that is. And this was definitely a unique, one of a kind, out of my mind, like blew my mind, profound experience. So I know this video was a little long, but I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I just love y'all.